our last story I will stop for this part. So we'll take run the card digits input field. So this tutorial now will tidy this CVV expiry date password and probably this P now button for this our design. So quickly now, inside our HTML file here, I'll collapse or copy. I'll just duplicate this input group here now, right? So just copy them, then I'll paste. Okay, so we'll not need this edit button, so I'm going to remove them out. Then we'll not need the leading icon, remove them, while this placeholder we will change to 327. Then instead of the verified badge, we'll go use .svg. Okay, then we'll change card number to CVV number. Why this our text description here will be enter the 3 or 4 digit number on the card. All right. So not see this then. Okay. So now we need to push the input field now. I made it side by side with this CVV number. So to do that, without doing right after this our input group class or create here, we'll create another class for this div, and we'll just call up underscore code. Okay. This underscore code now we want to target some items so inside here now to re-edit again. So we'll just do that quick. So just after, let's see, okay, inside input group or collapse header, collapse main, then just after the main, I go type the underscore, okay, the dot first. Then we'll go call flex. Okay, we'll see. All right. Then inside we'll go target the header, and we'll go set the margin button to 0. Okay, so push them down, because if we inspect now, if you observe this thing, this header gets margin button was set before of 1.8 em. You get, so since we duplicate now, if the header still they show there now, they push this our description here go up. You get, so to make sure say they aligned with this one for the center, we set the margin button to 0. You get. All right, so now the next we go do, just after the header, I'll target main, then I go set width, so 400 pixel, then margin top could be 0. Then inside the main, we'll target the input. All right, so for the input, what we want doing, we want center this text so we'll go the right inside. So we want center them just like the center arm here. So if you look default now, we'll get padding for here. Shade this here. We'll get padding left. Sorry, we'll get padding right 4 em and padding left the affector. So if We will make it decentralized now. First, we'll say text align to center. So if I align the text to center here, see I'm saying not really to the center like that. Why? Because this input feed has to get the padding. So after I put the text align center, and I will set the padding left to 0, then padding right to 0. Okay, so now I'll set on my see and say decentralized properly now. Why? Because this input now, it now gets padding to the left or the right. What we call it determine whether this our text now actually did the direct center where you get. So this now for this one, and also I think the way this card digit input feed they get background where they blended, this one's not get them. So we'll go send something like background to none. Right. So I'll just copy this code. Then back to my CSS, I'll paste them here. Okay. Then we'll go use the focus pseudo class now to set background. So we'll set the background to Mojo put blue BG first. Meaning by the time let's see. Red focus. So when we focus on this input, the background is supposed to change color. Now okay. It's supposed to be focused now. Let's see. Focus. So when we focus, you could get this blue BG. I turn on the grab color now. So inspect the body here now, the background which is this black now. We're going to pick this color here. So I'll just click without pick them. So I go select to copy the color we'll pick, and we'll go use that color now for our style sheet. So now I'll just replace the red now with this color here. We'll see. Back to our code. All right, so we'll get something like this, and this color or this type of blue. So meaning if it sets the color to be this blue background, sorry, this blue outline border here, same because not the same thing now. So must say the color we use active border. I just come here, set color. All right, so back to the code now. Say 327, and we'll get something like this. Okay, then for the trailing icon, we'll set opacity to probably 0.3. So just after the input, if you come down somewhere here, just after the input, we'll set trailing icon opacity .35. All right, okay, so we don't get this particular design. So we'll just duplicate the same thing for the password. Then we'll go work on this expiry date last. So I just tidy them. So now we'll just duplicate CVV number. We'll go turn on to password while we'll go enter the description. Yes, enter your dynamic password. Then we'll change this type now to password, and the placeholder we'll just put star, something like this. So I think it makes sense like this first. Okay, so for the designer, we need to push this text now back. So what we'll do now, we'll go back and go target password. So for our main.css now, for this input now, what will we do? If we give class to this input here just to target the password, or we fit do something like this: input type password, input type password, then we'll go text align to left, and we'll set padding left to 1.5 em, while I'll just put letter spacing to like 0.3 em. Okay, so now if we go back, you see it's in the fresh. So now more tidy this expiry date. So you see on the expiry date now, so you get two inputs here. So it could be different from which we do normally here before. So to do that, for our index.html, I might just collapse this input here, then collapse this one for the CVV. So first thing first, I'll change description. I'll go change them to expiry date, right? Then, sorry, the title. Then the description will be enter the expiration date of the card. All right, enter the expiration date of the card. Then for this main now, that's why the main now they house the input field originally. So we need two of this main now. So what we'll do, I'll come here, I'll create a new class, I'll call them GROP, just short form for group. Then I'll go paste, I'll cut this main out here, I'll go paste them inside this group div I create just now. You see, then I'll duplicate them. So we'll get two here. Then just in between this main and this other main here, I'll create a new class. This one will be span. I'll call it divider. So the divider and I go house that's our forward slash for inside the design. So let's see. And I think we don't need trailing icon. And our placeholder will be 09 and 22 here. So we'll just see what we get so far. Okay, we'll get 0922. So now more tidy and may be like what we'll get here. So if you guess what we'll go do, you guess right, we'll go do flex. We'll go back to our main.scss now. Now, for where this header D here, just after the header, I'll type this group. So this group will go include, this is our flex mixing. We'll just see first. Okay. We'll include our flex mixing. Then we'll go set the width to 400 pixel. So we'll set the width to 400 pixel. I mean match width we'll get for this mean here, which is this 400 pixel. So we'll see. All right, so we'll get something like this. So now what we could do, I think might run this new inspect element first. This inspector is small. Might pop them out. Okay. Go reduce and small, so just bear with me. Okay. I'll also not the same sure. All right. So form body. Right. Group and divider. So if we target this divider, what will it do? First thing first, we'll set the display to block, right? Then should we set padding or margin? I'll set margin first. Margin 1 EM 0. Okay. I think it makes sense like this. So margin 0 for the top and the bottom, 1 EM for the left and the right, now to separate these two out. Then we'll just like set font size to 1.5 EM. Then we'll set the font weight to 500. Okay, I think it makes sense like this. Or if you reduce this margin from 1 EM to like 0.7, it makes sense like this. So I might just copy this code out. Cancel this. Go back. Then for the divider inside group, we'll get divider. Go paste this code. So might just show you something quick. You see the way they shift this thing out, Abby? For this VS Code now, so to shift with your keyboard, if you select everything like this, you just press tab, you go to shift and they go front. If you want to bring her back now, you press shift and tab together, you got to bring her come back. You see her? So that it will save you time to go to something like this. So you can copy like this now. Go the brain come back one by one. See them. You know, to make sense like that. You get, so just to make things faster, try to the master all these key bindings to make your work rate faster. You get, very, very important. And you yourself, you go really like yourself as you do all these things they go. They get. So anyhow, we need to set color for divider. So the color will be text 1. All right. So I think our design don't make brain now. Without it tidy, without it take shape. Although this thing, this short too. Once again. Probably maybe the font size. It's 9. So it's not like 700, 800, 800. Then the margin will be 1.2 or 5. 1.2 good. So I think it make more sense like this, right? So 0.8, 800, 1.2. All right, so I'll go back. I'll just change 0.8, 800, 1.2. So like this, without tidy. Oh, I'll close this design. So like this now, without tidy, this part of our form. So I'm gonna work on this button here. So to work on the button, back to my index.html, I'll just create button after this last input group here. So I'll come down, I'll type button submit, and we'll give our class btn underscore submit. All right, so inside now we'll just type p now. So to our css, just after our input group here, we will target the button. So to target the button, I'll just type .btn submit, and background color will be $bluebg from our variables. Then we'll set the width to 100%, and padding, top and bottom will be 1.2 em, left and right will be 0. Then we'll set our color to white. So most of it get so far. btn submit underscore. So I need to put underscore, or I might just use hyphen here instead. I'll use hyphen here. So make sure say your class here you did correct. So the way you write the class here may be saying exactly the same thing that you did reference for the CSS here, because if you know it's exact now, your style not go work for the browser. And clearly now what you see say happen to me just now with that. So don't get this button here like this. Which we need to do, we need to set border radius, we need to do text transform, font size, font weight, and maybe we'll just put small transition effect for the hover. Okay, so now text transform, capitalize, then border radius will be 0.6 em, while we'll send font size to 1.2 em, and the font weight could be 500. Then we'll just set transition. So transition background color. What do I put all of it? Transition all 250 milliseconds. Easing out. All right. So when we're over, we want to change the color. That means the background color. So we want to change the background color to something like this. What do you use color? The first one that suggests for us here. Okay, so let's see. Let's see. So that's it in sweet font. If we inspect, we'll make sure say the hovered color. Sorry, this similar to this one, but it could be darker a bit. Let's see. All right, so I'll just copy this color out now, and I'll go use them in place of this one here. Okay, so the same. The thing too slow, safe. I think take them down to like 150 milliseconds, maybe for fast small. Okay, sounds say fast, but they give you that tiny bit of animation feel. You get. All right, so I think I like the way the font be like this now. It does resemble what we'll get here. I'll active the work. We'll first do some small cleanup based on fonts and maybe reduce the weight of all these ones here. But anyway, I will just leave them. If you play with those ones on your own. So we'll stop this video here. Our next video, we go start to tidy these parts of the form, and trust me, a lot of interesting things that happen here. So anyhow, I'll catch you on the next video, and I know now. Big thank you, boy from the South, and subscribe, like the video, and I'll see you for the next one.